Hello, welcome to this live series, which is going to be the next 60 days of me coming live every single day. Because this is something that I started probably in Feb, and I said that to myself that I'm going to be live for 90 days straight. I did 30 days live series, but then life happened and I let it happen. So I'm back. I have been doing live sessions here and there, but I have decided that I need to commit to the 60 days because I promised myself and you that I'm going to come here live every single day for 90 days. So gear up to see me every single day for the next 60 days. And the conversation that I want to bring to you today is about patience and creativity. This is something that I'm living, understanding about myself, and the work that I do with my clients is also around that. And we've started something. So I want to share all of that with you. This series is called Codes by Source, where I'm going to share some transmissions, some codes that I receive as I sit to contemplate, think about, reflect. And it's also going to be conversation topics that I would love for us to discuss because I really believe that conversations have the power to shift our entire life. Okay. Shape our life and shift our life. And I actually just posted about how there are so many things so the people who need to think about things before acting are actually running the world. And the people who need to act are actually sitting on the sidelines thinking about how they can make it perfect first in order for them to act. And I am not going to be that person. I am going to let my intuition move me, and I'm going to talk all about that, right? So this was an intuitive fit, and I was like, I need to do this because the thoughts that I'm going to share with you, the contemplations that came up, and I love this difference between thinking and contemplation. And one of my mentors keep telling us to contemplate, and she says that thinking is when you are, letting yourself think, and it leads to overthinking. But contemplation is, whenever we have this intuitive idea that, and contemplation is where you are letting yourself think about all of these things, not just from your mind, but also what it feels from the body. You're connecting different dots. You're actually creating, you're questioning and you're answering, and it's like a channeling process. Okay. So I think about contemplation as a channeling process where I'm talking directly to source. And that's why this entire series is called Codes by Source. And because this conversation is around patience and creativity, there is a war on creativity. I am going to take my own sweet time to discuss about it. Okay. So if you have any questions, if you are live with me, let me know. I would love to welcome you here with inside this live series with me. If you're watching me on replay, I would again love for you to tell me where you are coming from. I would love to invite you inside this live series. If you're watching me for the first time, I'm Ishani. I'm an intuitive self-leadership coach, and I'm expanding the definition of my work, right? Because as we evolve, our work also evolves. So I'm thinking about all those things. I'm an intuitive. I'm also somebody who really loves to think about things. I'm curious by nature. I'm always learning new things and I'm always integrating those things because unless you integrate, that is what I want to talk about. All this information, knowledge is of no use. Okay. All right. So there is a war, as I said, on creativity and patience. So I have a couple of notes because these are the thoughts that came through as I was sleeping at 1 a.m. in the morning, and I woke up and I was like, I'll just note down all these thoughts that are rushing into my mind. So, what is happening? I want you to think about it as if I'm having a conversation with you and you're sitting in front of me, and let's think this through. And I don't want you to take my word for it. I really want you to think, because there is a war on our critical thinking as well. Creativity, critical thinking are both aligned. Okay. So when you analyze your behavior, as I do all the time, when I look at a 30-second reels and a reel, and I'm actually playing it at 2x speed, what is happening to me? And like, for example, when we talk to somebody in real life, right? There are so many times that they'll pause, that they'll start to talk about something, and they'll go somewhere else. But we'll sit there patiently. But because our behavior is now becoming this, where we can't even listen to a 30 seconds reel without putting it on 2x, we are also wiring and priming our mind, our nervous system, to become impatient. We are always asking what's the point, and that's why all these strategists are going to tell you, oh, this is how you hook the person, this is how you hook, and this is how you need to create a 30-second reel, where 3 seconds, earlier it was 5 seconds, now in 3 seconds you need to hook the person, and there needs to be a visual this and visual. All of that is fine if it is actually letting you be creative, more creative. But if you're only doing it for, this is the only way, and this is the only way for me to have clients come in, imagine if your work is all about depth, and you are, because you are speaking to your people for 30 seconds only on a regular basis, this is what you're priming them to be as well, because you're inviting people who can only sit for 30 seconds, and also on that those 30 seconds they're watching you at 2x speed. And when they come to your container, whatever you do in your business, in your life, they will not, do you think they'll have the patience? So even though this might be like a lot of expectation from our viewers, but I'm just, I'm thinking this with you, that if my work is all about depth, and if I only put out content which is 30 seconds or 40 seconds or maximum 60 seconds, where I'm ensuring that I'm hooking them and I'm doing this and that, like all of this performance for what? If my work is around authenticity and I'm showing up in a way which is not authentic to me, for some people it might be the best thing. But when I analyze this about myself, about my mentors, and who I actually go and spend a lot of money with, I reflect on it in the way that I don't really need to do that, because what I am actually doing, my work is about helping you sit with yourself in patience. So if I'm going to create that work, and it's just not about my work, it's also about how everybody around us is now getting impatient, right? When you look at the comments in any kind of content, be it a nice spiritual content, people on the comments would be like, you are a scam, you are this, you are that. And people, like, we are so quick to judge because we are being impatient. There is a war on our creativity. We are not allowing ourselves to think critically. We are only looking at the 30 seconds or 60 seconds video, and we are making our minds too quickly because we have become impatient. Please come to the point. And I'm sure that not a lot of people will actually look at this video and sit through this video. Many people will drop off, and all these things about, people dropping off and all these key metrics that we have made. And I understand that there are some things that we do in our marketing for us to, call people in, and there are some things that we do in order for us to engage the audience and all of that. But I feel like all of this is actually creating a dissonance, right? I truly believe the biggest problem in this world is of disconnection. Our disconnection from ourselves lead us to people please, lead us to not be too much, too less, too whatever. Like, we cannot allow ourselves to be fully visible because we are always thinking about how will people perceive me. And that disconnection is also showing up on social media, because we are only creating content that will engage the part of us who already feels like it does not have attention span. So we are always talking about how people have become fake and social media is fake, and we are actually going and feeding into that narrative by by creating the same kind of content which is not authentic to us. So if you could actually create like a longer form content for your business, for your journey, for your life, you don't even need to be a business owner. You can be somebody who really loves to vlog about their life. But if you're creating again a 30-second, 60-second, and you think the more quantity that you push out there is going to create more views, and this is the only way. This is what I want to think about. How are you shaping the world, right? And I know that this could be a bigger duty than you have signed up for. You're like, Ishani, I just want to create content for the fun of it, and that's what I'm also all about. But I've been thinking about how it is seeping into our critical thinking, how all of this, where if somebody has written in their bio that they support so and so government, we just think that this is their whole identity. And maybe yes, that is what they're portraying, but we have forgotten that people are complex. There are no answers to everything, and we have become too impatient, and we start to make up our mind basis on those 30 seconds or like 50 words bio, and we think that we know the person, but there are so much that happens behind the screens that we don't really get to know. Of course, it depends on the person. Maybe they are showing their entire life, they are showing maybe 1% of it. But because we are wiring and priming our mind to look at the world in this impatient manner, this impatience is also seen on the streets where there's road rage that is happening, where when we sit across a table from a person, we just, if they take their time, we just, label them as, oh, they are boring. We have forgotten to have boring times in our life because we always want to do something. And this hyper activity, we see this all the time. We have so much anxiety, we are overstimulated. So I really believe that it is not just it is obviously not only on us, but it is on us when we start to recognize it, right? So aware, we are hyper aware, we are all aware of our problems, of our struggles and whatnot. But once you have the awareness, what are you going to do with it, right? So for example, when I am becoming aware of my patterns, when I am becoming aware of, oh, this is how I behave on social media is impacting my real life and my patience, right? I used to joke about it all the time, maybe 6 7 years ago, that I'm a patient, I'm a patient. I'm patient and I'm a patient, which means I used to be sick. So I had a lot of health issues. So I was a patient to my doctors and I was also patient. But now I also see that, all this agitation is coming across in my real life as well. Thankfully, I have the tools. I have this contemplation habit that I keep thinking about, where I reflect on my actions, my behavior on the daily, so that I can actually become the person that I want to be, right? Who is patient, who is kind and compassionate, where I'm not too quick to judge. But so when I start to do that, I actually um, find, so when I started to do that, I actually found that how all of my behavior on social, and we think that it does not matter. Like I can, um, I mean, this is too much that we don't need to go into so much depth about how we behave on social media. But you really, I am inviting you to think about all these things, because there is a way how social media is created. There is a way how we can actually approach social media. It's a fabulous place for us to connect, and that is where I am right now, right? Like I'm connecting to you, but in a way that I want, not because this is how the algorithm wants me to. But even if you're doing that, right, even if you're creating 30 seconds, I literally posted a 30 seconds video, but it is for people to actually think about it. Like I want more people to think about things, and that's what I want to offer you. So I am doing this with my clients, where I have invited them also to join me on a daily writing journey. And I feel like writing is going to help you become more will help you think critically and also become patient and also creative. So um, I wanted to have this conversation because I feel like I've given you a lot of points to think about, right? And I want to invite you to join me inside this daily writing practice. Tell me if you're up for it, where you don't have to write in order to become a writer. You're just writing to understand the world. That is the main point, right? And you realize when, so as I said in the middle of this conversation, that the problem that we have is disconnection, where we don't understand ourselves, and we don't understand the world. We don't understand the direct connection that we have to source, universe, God, mother, nature, universe, whatever you call it. So we feel that disconnection, and we feel that the disconnection will be solved when I go on social media and I find something relevant and relatable, and then I'm trying to find that thing that will make me laugh. And if I see my feed, there in like 1 second difference, there's something that will make me laugh, and there's something that will make me go like, oh my God, what is this insane world? And then, and in another moment, I am there is a there's a short circuit in my mind, in my nervous system, that is happening like this. So I want us to move away from this doom scrolling that we have started to do as a society. Okay, and I feel writing is the best way to take our power back, to take our attention back. We crib about how there is such a low attention span, but this is how we actually empower ourselves to take our attention back, take our power back, where we are not obligated by the algorithms, because the algorithms are made in a certain way and we are also feeding into the algorithm. So the cycle continues. If we start to look at things and we start to become patient with ourselves, where we are actually listening to the people that we want to listen, not because they're hooking us in, but actually allowing them to say and ah and be human, we are going to create the algorithm that we desire, right? We don't need to feed into the things that we don't want to experience in life, in real life. Social media can be actually something that is a mirror to, and it is a mirror to the life that we live, but it has become um, a sort of a place where we are going in order to escape reality, but it is also shaping our reality. So that is all these thoughts you'll think about, you'll start to realize, you start to contemplate, you'll start to also think about your own behavior and how it is reflecting in your life, in your relationships, where you don't have patience for somebody to respond, and you want them to respond like quickly because there's instant gratification that you get from a heart, or if somebody does not follow you, you think about how they don't probably like you, and it just seeps into every part of our life. So there is, like I said, a war on your creativity, your critical thinking, your patience. And the best way that I have found to take that power back, to actually win this war, is by creating a daily writing practice, where I'm sitting with myself, where I'm letting myself contemplate about the things that are there in my life, what is affecting me on the daily, how can I actually allow myself to solve that problem. Because I always I have the resources. I have the resources because I have the direct connection to source, and the source is the provider, creator of all of us. Okay, so yeah, even this conversation, I know for a fact that not a lot of people will listen to it, but I'm still going to ensure that I say what I want to say by taking the pause, by making the mistake, because I'm human and I am going to take my time. So I want to ensure that when you meet me in real life, you'll say, okay, I understand. I have the patience to listen to you, because I am priming you to listen to me at length. And that is how I think we are going to take this way of living by the algorithm. Like we are going to remove ourselves from living based on algorithm, and start also again living like a human, where we can make mistakes, where we can goof up, where we don't cancel somebody just because they have said something, and we think that that's the only way to decide if they are a good person or not. We can actually give people the benefit of doubt. All of these things, if we start to think about it, social media is affecting us, are affecting our ability to think in a big way. And I really believe that if you start to contemplate, think about these things on the daily, you will become a more patient person. You'll find more ways to connect to each other, to connect to your friends. You'll find deeper meaning in even the smallest moments where you can really enjoy a cup of coffee without thinking about, oh, I let me just, hear something on the background so that I'm not wasting my time. Just wasting my time is also become such a thing because everybody is telling us how to hack this and how to hack that and how to become ageless, and there's so many things that are happening. And I also love me some hacks, but my life is not just about that. It's about, so a human baby, if you imagine, is always going to take 9 months or maybe 10 months or maybe 7 months. So 7 to 10 months at max. It is going to take that time, right? That human baby is going to take that amount of time, and we have to be patient about it. So there are certain things that we are going to only learn in hindsight, and there are certain things that we are only going to enjoy because we allowed ourselves to have that time, have that patience. So this is my really deep desire that, and a plea to you, that sit with yourself, allow yourself at least 1 hour of the day where you can sit with yourself, think about things, think about where your life is going, think about how you behave, how are you behaving in the way that you want to behave, how what is it that you want to create in this world. Do you want to live by the algorithm, or do you want to create your own way of living, because it is your life, right? We are indulging in these things consciously and also subconsciously and unconsciously. But when you start to write and think about these things on a daily, you take your power back, you become the creator of your own life. And that is my mission. I want to help you, and that is what I do with my clients, where I help them see that everything that they need and they think that they need from others, they already have it in themselves. They just need to come back to themselves, think about things, reflect on the things, of course use tools and resources in order to create, heal, release the beliefs that all the things that they do not require. But it starts with you allowing yourself to reflect on your journey. Awareness does not do anything. You need to act after the awareness. So let me just quickly take a look at my my notes, because I had written all of it and I forgot to share. I just started talking about what I wanted to talk about. Um, okay. Um, I want, see, if you thought like, oh, now let me just drop off, think about that as well. If you're still here, we need to develop patience. Patience for the life to unfold in the way it needs to unfold. There are there is there is a pattern to nature. There is a sequence that is in nature. We are damaging the nature because we've become impatient. We want everything to be quick, quick, quick. But the joy is in allowing the pressure to build up, the for things to take their own time. And the more we sit, the more we reflect, the more we allow ourselves to be patient, to think critically, we will develop a connection, a deep sense of connection with ourselves, with God, source, universe, and also with other human beings, because we can recognize them. Then I can actually love something and do not like something else in the same thing or the same person, right? So yeah, this is my humble request and also an advice and a recommendation, that you allow yourself to start a daily writing practice where you think about all these things, contemplate, and this will not only help you become a better friend to yourself, but it will help you understand the world. It will help you take your power back. It will help you create the world that you desire, where we focus on love and compassion and humanity more than anything else. I also have this illogical desire to help 100 women have 100 transformations. And I've created this thing called the illogical room, where I'm going to coach you for free inside the illogical room. So you can come with, you know, any illogical desire or illogical beliefs. And I'm going to help you transmute those illogical beliefs or blocks into your illogical power so that you go for your dreams no matter what. You take your power back, you build your patience, you build your resilience, you build yourself so that you create the life that you desire. So I'll link it in the description. You can find it. It's free, of course. It's only for women. And I'm going to charge you $10 to show up. If you don't show up, then those $10 are mine. If you do show up and you have the illogical transformation, I'll refund the $10. So it's practically free. Yeah, I just wanted to share all of this with you. Let's think about things. It's it's going to help us raise the vibration frequency of the world. It is going to help us become more patient, become more loving, become more compassionate. We can understand that there is black and white and red and gray, and we just don't think in polarity. And then there's just black and white, and whatever people are saying, it's the only truth. And somebody is saying that this person is bad. We're just assuming it because we don't align to the fact that is being highlighted in the world. We become humans. We allow each other to make mistakes. We don't cancel each other just like that. We just let ourselves be patient and be human. All right. Let me know if there are any thoughts that come up. I would love to know all about it. I will see you tomorrow.